am in my 12th year teaching in Whitewater. I teach second grade at Lakeview Elementary. I am a Seesaw ambassador, and my contact information, my email address is there if you have any questions and you want to reach out to me. Seesaw is a platform that is designed to really empower students to be able to demonstrate and share their learning. Seesaw is not only for virtual learning, but also used within classrooms. It's to have students create portfolios, give formative insights, and allow teachers to give feedback. Next. So with the tools that Seesaw provides, students are able to unlock their creative thinking so that all students in any subject area can share their work with their families and with their teachers. Next. So it creates this learning loop between teachers, students, and families to really deepen that student learning. Next. So students will use their tools to be able to demonstrate their learning in a portfolio. Teachers then get valuable feedback that they can provide to the students, and families at home are able to then see their child's work and also respond to the work that their child is doing. Next. Seesaw is available on any of these devices, so you can download it on any device that works for you. Next. And that's going to bring me into my first lesson here, which is the difference between the class app and the family app. This is often something that parents question about which app should they be using. So I'm going to get a little bit insight onto both of those apps and when you should be using each one. Next. So teachers will assign the powerful learning experiences for the children in the class app. That is where the students are able to access their activities that are assigned to them. Next. Students will then post their work in the class app. So the class app is really where the student will be doing their work from. The students will see the activity assigned to them. They'll be able to create videos, create audio to go with it, that the teacher then can really see the thinking coming alive within the student. Go ahead, next. So the class app, you'll see updates a lot. The Seesaw program is constantly taking feedback from families and from teachers to make their app better. And therefore, there are often updates coming out to the app. So the biggest recommendation I have is to make sure that your app is updated. I've seen where for some families, they can't get the camera to load to take a picture. And it's just a simple update to the app. Another way to get around having to have that update to the app is to just use the website. So if you go to app.seesaw.me, then there's auto updates on it. So sometimes just skip the app completely and use a web browser using the app through that way. So why can't students just use that family app? And I'm going to get into the family app here next. So the class app is where the students are able to complete their activities. The family app is where the families are able to see completed activities. So you will not be able to see the activities that your child has not yet completed in the family app. Class codes allow students to have their journal from home. And then the family app is where the families can communicate with the teachers and see completed work. Next. So families can engage with their children on their class app. So you can see on the top here, this is from a computer. You can also download it on your phone. It'll look slightly different. The tabs will be on the side or on the bottom. But you can go to the journals. And on this example, a student had completed this activity. And you can see down there that the family member left them a nice compliment and said that they could try something like that at home on the weekend. So you can respond to your child in what they're doing. You'll also see on the top the inbox. That's where you can send messages back and forth with the teacher. And it's important to know that that is only between you and the teacher. So even if there are co-teachers in the class, if you're sending a message, it's only going directly to the teacher you're sending it to, so you don't have to worry about any other co-teachers or administrators seeing those messages. Next. So in the family app, again, I just want to make sure we know families only see their own child's work or work that's posted that their child is tagged in. So your child's work is private to just you, the teacher, and their families. Other children's families won't be able to see their work in there. And next. And families, again, cannot complete activities. Sometimes families will say, I don't see this activity if a teacher emails that they have missing work. I don't see this activity. If you're looking in the family app, you won't be able to see activities that are not yet completed. Only completed work will show up in the family app, so you need to make sure you are on your child's device or in the child's class app to see what those activities are. Next. All right, now I'm going to give a couple really good tips about using the tools in Seesaw. So go ahead next. And you can see there are so many tools here, and I'm not going to go through all of them today, but I really want to highlight a couple of the tools at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. And I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks to help you and your students when you're completing an activity. So here's an activity that I had assigned at the beginning of the year to my students when they were virtual. And right away I got comments, you know, that students couldn't answer these bottom questions on here. The tools kept getting in the way. They'd come over here and, okay, now I want to answer this one, and it's clicking on this tool and that tool. Some of the tools in the Seesaw that get forgotten about are these ones right up here at the top. So this one with the little dotted box here, this will actually hide all of your tools. So once you are selected on the tool that you want, and you maybe want to use a darker color, then once you click that, those go away. And now I'm able to come down here and answer my question without those getting in the way. Another really good thing to do to help with that is using this zoom feature. Also just for writing, a lot of tiny boxes your child might be asked to write into. If you click on this magnifying glass, this will pop up, and we click the plus and we zoom in. So you can see I can keep going in and just get that first row. And then I can come along here and I can put in my answers. I'll talk about a tip at the end of if your child has a touch screen device, using a stylus is a really good way to be able to help them work on pencil grip while they're still using the computers. So using this zoom in feature here and using this hide tools can help alleviate a lot of stresses of some of those tools getting in the way or being able to write small. And you can see now that I go back, those numbers that I had written there are nice. You can also use just like an undo and a forward if anything ever needs to get, instead of having to use the eraser. So these tools often get forgot about way up there, and I just really want to point those out as tools that could really help families. All right, let's go ahead back to the PowerPoint. All right, so submitting and correcting work. Some schools will have an option to send work back to your child. And oftentimes families will reach out to teachers saying, you know, I don't know what work they needed to complete, or I didn't know they had something. So I'm going to show you where you can find what work your child still needs to complete. Next. So when you are in the class app, so you're on your child's device in the class app, when you click on activities here, this is where your child will see the activities that are assigned to them, and they'll click on that add response button so that they can complete the activity. Next. Next. There we go. So one thing, if a child starts a project, starts an activity, and maybe they didn't realize it was going to take them as long, and now it's time for them to join a live meeting, or maybe they just need that mental break. It's not going the way that they need it to, or they're ready for a break for whatever reason. You do have the ability to submit things as a draft and come back to them. So you're probably familiar with when you are finished, when your child's finished with an assignment, they would click on the green check and that submits it for teacher approval. And the green check is right there on the left side. There is also an option for your child to click on draft, and that button is right next to the green check. It's to the left of it on the top. And if you click the draft button, the activity what had been completed so far will be visible to the teacher, but we don't see it as an activity that's ready to be approved. We can go in and see what's been done on it, but we're not approving it at that time. We'll wait for the student to come back and edit and finish their work, and they will see that orange bar at the top. They'll be able to click on edit and go right back to where they were in the activity. So it doesn't have to be a one sitting kind of activity. They can save it as a draft and always come back to what they're doing. Next. If they accidentally hit submit, or maybe they hit submit and after they've submitted it, they see, oh no, I have an error on there. I spelled that word wrong. I want to fix it. Even if the teacher hasn't approved it yet, or if the teacher has approved it yet, they can go back and go back into it and edit it. So from their journal, the 3 dots, which is what that bottom red arrow is pointing to, when you click on those 3 dots, you are given all of these different choices for the activity. So you can click on edit post, and then it will open the post back up. They can make the change that they needed to, and then click the green check to submit it again. Next. So as I had shared before, teachers can send activities back for corrections and to make changes. When you are in the activities tab there, you will see, this is again in the class app, your child will see 3 different subcategories there. They're going to see the to do, which are the activities assigned to them at that time that they have not started and they haven't done yet. Then they will see the in progress, which are activities that are sent back from the teacher or activities they've saved as a draft. And then the done are the completed and approved activities that they have. So if you're wondering, what does my child have left to do today? What activities haven't they done? Check the to do, and don't forget to check that in progress to see if they have anything in there that needs to be correct. Next. Another way that your child can see if they have work sent back to them, or just to see what comments have been left for them, is by going to the inbox. You can see in the top right there, we're in the inbox tab, you have messages and then you have notifications. When your child clicks on the notifications, and that might be what's causing a big red number a lot of times in their class. So that red number is showing that they have notifications. If somebody adds a comment, even if you just click the heart and you like your child's work, that's giving them a notification. So it's good for them to get in the habit of checking this and seeing if their teachers, if their family members have responded to their work. And then you can also see where I have that red arrow pointing that a teacher had sent work back. So that's another place that they can see, oh, my teacher left me a voice comment and sent work back. I need to listen to that voice comment to see what they're asking me to change, and then I need to edit my work. So that's another place you can see if the work has been sent back for you. Next. And finally, just some quick little tips, especially for Chromebooks. Sometimes using just a simple corded or cordless mouse can make the drawing and the writing of numbers a lot easier. If your child's using a tablet or a touchscreen Chromebook, I really recommend a stylus. You can get them pretty cheap off Amazon or Walmart, And a stylus, especially at younger grades, really helps work on that pencil grip, um, which is something that some students are missing with a lot of this online work. So that will help with that, and it makes it easier to write. And then to take pictures, sometimes it helps if you have a hard clipboard to hold the paper so the paper is not flopping. The space bar on your keyboard will actually take the picture too. I've seen students, try to hold up their work and then they're trying to get their hand over there to click it. So just pressing the space bar button will take a photo. And then two, you can take your paper and hold it the same way as the computer screen is holding up. And then once you're in the app, they can rotate the photo. So teachers are really looking for clear pieces of work. Another suggestion with worksheets and things is do them on the paper. Have your child do some writing in their notebook and then just take pictures and submit it on Seesaw if you're really trying to get them off of the device as much as they might be on it. And then there is a Reflect and Seesaw that sometimes the older grades use the Reflect and Seesaw, but it's an app that you can download, a Chrome extension, a Chrome extension that you can download, and it will allow you to take a snippet from a website and automatically put it into Seesaw for an activity. So that's another thing that might be helpful with some assignments for